Hello, I'm Parrish Alford. This is John Davis. We are here with the Tornado Watch edition of Rapid Reaction. After the Hugh Freeze press conference, JD, the biggest thing is the Robert Nkemdiche photo that's making the rounds. We asked Hugh Freeze about it, and after the press conference was over, we spent a lot of time debating the answer, trying to figure out what he said. Actually, he in essence confirmed Robert in the photo, I think, did he?
Yes.
He said that he was aware of the photo. He didn't deny that it was Robert Nkemdiche in the photo. When I looked at it, I thought, looks like him. Not everybody has arms and shoulders like that. But I thought with the hat on, there was enough to obscure the facial features if you wanted to deny.
Oh, absolutely. I don't think it was as definitive as some people would lead you to believe. When you look at it, there's a little, there's a possibility because it's not a direct face shot. And like you said, he's got a hat on. But the way Coach Freeze talked about it, it was him. It wasn't any time recently. It wasn't before the A&M game or anything like that. It was obviously in the past.
Yeah, well, he went on to say that he was aware of it and he knew that where and when it was taken. And then he launched into talking about drug policy and that the drug policy here is enforced and that he's aware of everything when it happens. And he said that everyone is treated the same.
I mean, based on past history too. I mean, that was one of the big issues with Houston Nutt era was drug testing and guys getting stopped, and they've enforced it for a while here. I think there's a misconception here that is not the case, and it's always been my experience that Ole Miss has done a pretty good job with that.
So the interpretation there is that the photo is old news. He went on to say that the team got back from the A&M game at 5 in the morning. So if it was anything in celebration of that game. Not a big window of time there,
right.
But they got back at 5 in the morning because of that. Didn't go through their regular practice on Sunday, so they're kind of, I guess, a little bit late in getting started for preparation for Tennessee this week.
Yeah, I mean, as I found out, you found out, it's a long way back from A&M, and even when you got a direct flight in, it's still a long haul. I think the Nkemdiche thing, I think you're going to start to see some of this. Not necessarily bongs and anything like that, but there's always going to be something that tries to be a distraction. I think because Ole Miss is at the top of the rankings, number 3 in this particular case, you're going to start to see fan bases or any little thing, any little poking of the hole, chink in the armor type situation come up in the next few weeks.
Now, JD, you've got a lot more experience with covering the cops than I have in my career. So tell me, what was in the photo? It was that was what we call a bong. Is that right?
That is correct. It's a bong.
So it's a pipe in essence.
Well, it is. It's a pipe. What it does is you've got water underneath it and ice, and it cools. Kind of you're ingesting the smoke. That's what a bong does.
Kind of like your smoker at home.
Kind of like that. You can buy them not so hard because they're considered tobacco. So.
All right. Well, moving on. The Rebels have Tennessee this week. Kind of a sneaky good Tennessee team. I think good in some areas. You look at them defensively. Talented. They've recruited well. Obviously, they've been pretty strong against the pass in the efficiency ratings as well as the yardage ratings. That's interesting. They've been very good in third down defense. Ole Miss wasn't great in third down offense against A&M. And, it looks like Tennessee has given up some yards on the ground. And Ole Miss ran the ball well against Texas A&M. Ran it in spots. The last 2 weeks, we've seen Bo Wallace much more involved in the run game.
And I think that's opened up some stuff. I think that the running game is there because the offensive line's gotten better. I think Bo setting the tone with the running game has helped. I think him becoming more of an option allows the running backs to get some carries as the game goes on. I think the offense has performed pretty well the last 2 games, especially considering the opponents.
Yeah, Bo still needs to pick his spots in the run game, and he usually does a pretty good job of that. I mean, he's not a stiff. He is not athletic like Devontae Kincaid would be, but you can overcome that by picking your spots, and I think he's done that.
He does a really good job with that, and I think again that the part about the defense maybe not being on the field and all that. I think the defense played great the first 2 quarters. Really, first 3 quarters they played outstanding. I think Bo's done a better job, and The only other thing that's kind of somewhat negative, if you will, was the way that the defense finished. But I think part of that is because they were tired, and A&M was going to keep throwing all the way to the end, and the offense maybe not moving the ball quite as much late because they didn't need to. Help contribute to them being tired.
Yeah, I think so. 2 times after a couple of those late A&M scores, the Ole Miss offense went 3 and out. One of them, they had a penalty, backed themselves up a little bit, got a really nice run by Mark Dodson late in the game. I like that call because it's going with a strong, fresh back when the other defense is tired. That would have worked had they not had a penalty before that. They would have been able to run out the clock in that game. But yeah, yards and points at the end for A&M. Basically, as I mentioned on the blog on Sunday, the last play of the game cost the Ole Miss defense, if you're into keeping up with these numbers, and I don't think Dave Womack is, cost the Ole Miss defense 1 point per game, now giving up 11.8 points per game, still leads the SEC. Had they knocked that ball down, or had it not been a touchdown on the last play against A&M,
it led the nation.
Well, I don't know if it would have led the nation, but they would be at 10.8 points per game.
I think it was. Yeah. I think it really almost is like 5 or 6 or 7 points. I mean, it's pretty close.
Very consistent for this defense, and it's a defense that's gotten better in the last month. I think, JD. I think they're better against the run than they were in the first 2 or 3 games of the year.
I don't disagree. I think the defense has been consistent all year, and I think they've only gotten better. I dare say that this is the best defense in the nation. I'm willing to believe if there's a better defense out there, I would love to see it.
Well, it has been a very consistent defense, and the Rebels will put that defense back on display Saturday night at 6 here against Tennessee, and we know that the LSU game will be a night game as well, 6:15 or 6:30. Fingers crossed for no 8 o'clocks the rest of the way, JD. 8 o'clock was tough, man. That was a tough travel.
Tough for families. Just tough in general.
You know who it's not tough for? It's not tough for TV.
No. No.
So, and they dictate things. But anyway, that's it, folks, for this edition, the Tornado Watch edition of Rapid Reaction. Lots more on the blog at InsideOleMissSports.com and also at OxfordCitizen.com. Come check us out there.